Have you ever wondered how an ancient festival, one that's all about worshiping nature, can actually thrive in our super connected digital age? Well, today, we're going to dive into the incredible story of Chhath Puja. It's a journey that's going to take us from the sacred rivers of India all the way to a community website in Atlanta, Georgia. So, here's our game plan. We're going to kick things off with a surprising online find in Atlanta. Then we'll zoom out and really get to the heart of what Chhath Puja is all about, its history and its 4 days of intense devotion. After that, we'll follow the festival as it travels across the globe, and finally, we'll see how modern tech is actually helping this ancient tradition to flourish. All right, so believe it or not, our story starts not on the banks of the River Ganga, but with a simple web page. You know, the kind you'd find for any local barbecue or community meeting. Except this one was for an ancient Hindu festival, being organized right in the American South. This is what I stumbled upon, right, on the website for the Shiv Mandir of Atlanta. It's just so direct and friendly, right? Come join us. It immediately gets you thinking, what exactly is this celebration? And what makes it so important that a community is coming together to celebrate it so far from its origins? Now, what's really cool is when you look at the details. You see the key rituals mentioned, the argya, you've got the date, the place, but then you see this, the name of a Vratan, one of the main devotees, Asha Gupta. And that just makes it so real. This isn't some abstract tradition. It's a living, breathing community event built around actual people. And that, right there, is the big question, isn't it? To really get what's happening in Atlanta, we need to understand the tradition itself. So let's zoom out and take a look. At its absolute core, Chhath Puja is an ancient festival dedicated to the one thing that gives us all life, the sun. It's all about gratitude, really, just a profound way of saying thank you for keeping life going on Earth. So the festival honors Surya, who is the sun god, and also his sister, Chhati Maya, and it's fundamentally about giving thanks for all the good things in life, for your health, for prosperity, and for just general well-being. And this is where it gets really fascinating. Chhath is unique in so many ways. For starters, there are no idols. And get this, no priests are involved either. It's a direct line between the devotee and the sun. Nature is absolutely central. You perform the prayers while standing in a river or a pond. And here's something beautiful. It's one of the only festivals that honors both the setting sun, for all that it's given, and the rising sun, for the promise of a new day. And we are talking about really deep roots here. The origins are mentioned in two of Hinduism's most epic stories. Legend has it that in the Ramayana, Lord Rama and Sita performed this very fast. And in the Mahabharata, the great warrior Karna, who was literally the son of the sun god, is said to have started these exact rituals. Okay, so we know why people celebrate it, but what does it actually look like? Well, it's a pretty intense 4-day journey that requires an incredible amount of discipline and faith. Let's just let this number sink in for a second. 36. For 36 hours straight, the main devotees, the Vritans, go without any food or even a single drop of water. It is an absolutely extraordinary test of devotion. The whole thing plays out over 4 very specific days. It all kicks off with day 1, Nahaike, which is all about purification. Day 2 is Karna, which leads into the start of that intense 36-hour fast. Day 3 is the big one, the Sanja Argya, making offerings to the setting sun. And finally, it all culminates on day 4 with the Usha Argya, greeting the rising sun before that incredible fast is finally broken. And of course, you can't talk about Chhath without talking about the food. The main offering, the prasad, is the special sweet cookie called thekwa. It's made with so much care and is considered sacred. You only eat it after it's been offered to the sun. So you've got this incredibly powerful festival that for a long time was really centered in specific parts of India. So how on earth did it travel from the banks of the Ganga to communities all over the world? Well, the answer is the Indian diaspora. As people moved, they took their traditions with them. And now Chhath is a truly global festival. I mean, just look at this list. It's celebrated with so much passion on pretty much every continent, thousands of miles from where it all began. And this leads to some really powerful images. Think about it. A ritual that was performed for centuries on the sacred Ganga River is now happening on the banks of the Potomac, right outside Washington, D.C. It's amazing. But what happens if you don't have a big river nearby? Well, this is where you see some real ingenuity. People adapt. They create these temporary sacred spots in community swimming pools. They use inflatable ponds. Sometimes they even build temporary water bodies in local parks. It just shows how resilient this tradition really is. And that brings us right back to where we started, that event page in Atlanta. It raises a really interesting question. How does a global, scattered community organize something this special and this complex? Now, this code is great because it's not from some ancient religious text. It's from a tech blog reviewing event software. But it absolutely hits the nail on the head. It perfectly describes the modern challenge. How do you create that central hub to bring everybody together? And that's the bottom line. Technology isn't the enemy of this tradition. It's actually become an essential tool. Things like online invitations, RSVP websites, and social media groups are the digital glue holding these communities together. That event page we saw, it's more than just a website. It's a lifeline for an ancient tradition in a modern world. So all of this leaves us with a really big, fascinating question to think about. Chhath Puja proves that tradition isn't some frozen thing from the past. It's alive, it breathes, it adapts. So as our world gets more and more connected, you have to wonder, how will our other ancient rituals continue to evolve and find their own place in it all?